We all know golf brands are expensive, but here are three that you've never heard of. Golf clothing has and continues to be some of the best-selling items I pick up from thrift stores. We all see the G4s, the Graysons, the Nikes, the Adidas, etc. But how come no one talks about other brands? Is it a lack of interest or simply laziness in the craft in the way we resell? We will discuss conversion rates, sales, where to find these in the thrift store, visit their websites, and whether you should buy these items to sell. Here are three golf brands you may not have heard of. If you're new here, my name is Kevin, the Stoic Reseller. I buy new and used clothing from thrift stores and online marketplaces to sell on eBay and Poshmark for a profit. If you are into deep dives, thrift hauls, what's sold, and honest reselling advice, hit the like button, subscribe, comment below, and without further ado, here's the first brand. First brand is Eastside Golf. Now, I told you you've never heard of that. But here on the screen, you're going to see the Terapeak research. So this is 3 years worth of data. Now this is all categories in Eastside Golf. This is the used category. I figure instead of just discussing it, I might as well show you, right? So you can see here the average sold price is $73.24. Yeah, it's pretty solid item. It's been around for a while. The caveat with Eastside Golf is they have a very expensive collab with Jordan or Michael Jordan. So it's like you'll see a lot of Nike pieces with their logo. And I'll show you those here in a second. So yeah, here you go. This is Eastside Golf on Terapeak. I recommend you look it up as well. So let's do this. Let's take this and go into regular good old eBay search. Let's make sure to put Eastside in quotes. Do the buy it now, condition used. Okay, so you can see we have 230 results used, all pretty good. Now, I want to share an interesting caveat with you guys. I will be doing a video discussing this a little bit more, but we're gonna do a thought project here. I'm gonna bring over this calculator. Okay, we have 230 available. Right? I'm going to bring the calculator back over here. Now we're going to go to sold. Okay, there's 152 sold. So we add the 152, right? So we have 382. Okay, so you take 152 divided by 300 and, what was it, 82? This is the conversion rate, guys. This is the true rate that you need to be paying attention to. And this is what I'm going to be referencing in the future. Like I said, next Thursday, pay attention. You're going to have a nice saucy video again. If you didn't watch my last Thursday video, I debunked the list daily. And I'll be debunking sell-through rate and why people get that wrong. But you can see this has nearly a 40% conversion rate in a 90-day window. It's not a true conversion rate because eBay doesn't really give us all the details, and all of these are single item SKUs, so there's not a true way to really quantify the metric, but it does give us a decent idea of the demand of the item. So you can see here less than 50% of items are selling in a 90-day window in the used category. With that said, look at the asking prices for just a golf polo. $40. What golf polo, mind you, a blank golf polo. Which blank golf polo outside of like a Scotty Cameron or a tour shirt is selling for $40 at this point? Not very many. But let's see if we can find the tag. We'll use this polo as a reference, huh? All right, so one of the things you want to look for is this logo. Specifically, if you see this on Nike, that is part of the collab, and it will demand a much higher premium. Let's see here. Do we add a close-up of the tag? Of course we do not, because why would we? But there you go. So Eastside Golf, be authentic, huh? So be very in tune with that logo. I recommend just grabbing this brand. The conversion rate isn't really in line with what I would say is a good metric, but my guess, and this I could be wrong, my guess is if you were to filter this without the shoes, the conversion rate might go up. And the reason I say that is because the shoes sell for such a high dollar amount, or like their golf covers sell for such a high dollar amount, that it may be skewing the overall conversion rate, because the buyer that's willing to spend 180 bucks on a used item is few and far between. But yeah, guys, be on the lookout for that logo with, I mean, look at this one. This is a kick. Look at that, Tiger Woods. Heck yeah, this is one of the Jordan crossovers with a Tiger Woods. Oh no, that's Michael Jordan, right? Hey, I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty cool item. But yeah, guys, there you go. Now let's look at their website, huh? Let's see here. Oh, looks like you can buy some Nikes on their website. So the reason I like to look at their website is you get an idea of what the more modern trend is for them, what they are currently selling. You can see their hats do sell out apparently, but they go for 50 bucks new. You have this here that's sold out. Let's see, their hoodies, they're having a sale on their summer stuff, it looks like, but these ultra UV hoodies, 130 bucks brand new. Stadium jacket, 275. I mean, they got pants retail for 135. So yeah, so here's some of their stuff, guys. I mean, ooh, look at that, nice. I actually kind of like this brand. It looks really interesting. I like the very minimalistic logo there. But yeah, interesting patterns. I mean, to be fair, these patterns aren't really anything different than we'd see in any other golf brand. Then you have these kind of, I think they called their, peak golf polos, where the trim is slightly different just due to the pattern. You got some more tech pants. I mean, we've all seen this kind of script before. We've seen the spell out, right? Like G4 does this pretty frequently. Yeah, pretty interesting brand, guys. The way I would approach this brand in order to find it, now, as you can see, it's not ultra represented. There's less than 1,000 items currently in the used category listed and sold. Just over 300, or almost 400, I should say. Where I would obviously look for is the men's polos. Looks like they have decent outerwear and pants. Also, highly unlikely, but if you see an interesting pair of Nike shoes and you notice their logo, I mean, we can go back here. Let's see how what the Nike shoes would look like, right? So I mean, I'm not seeing anything here that's completely overt. Okay, it'd be on the tongue. So you see that on the tongue, their logo, then you have a great item. You have an item that's going to sell for a very high, decent price. But let's all be realistic. When was the last time you saw Jordan 12 Retros in a thrift store at a reasonable price? Odds are, been a while, right? So, but on the off chance that you see it, pick them up. Second brand on our list here is Malbon Golf. This is a brand that I feel a lot of us would have a better opportunity of finding, just simply because it's represented more, but it still commands a really high price. We're going to go into the deep dive, of course. So you can see here, Terra Peak, last 3 years, average sold price is $66.71. Now this is all categories. That's including hats, bags, other things that they've collabed and done with. So just like anything else on eBay, it's really hard to narrow it down in a certain category, especially in clothing, just considering how many nuanced items there truly are. But I mean, we can get a good snapshot of this, right? So $66.71 in the used category, used and very good, not bad. So let's go over, let's do the same thing. We'll just delete, paste, quote the Malbon because we want to try to hone in, hit the buy it now, hit the used. Okay, so we're going to do the stop process again. Let's make sure, yep. So we're going to come over here. Bring the calculator. This is, I know, people are going to be so mad in the comments section. 354, someone help me remember that. We get the solds. Maybe. 373, ooh. Plus 373 equals 727. Okay, 354, remember that, 727. So 354 divided by 727. Oh no, hold on. Oops. 727, so it's 373 divided by 727. So we have a conversion rate of over 50%, or as some of the YouTube talking gurus, you have over 100% sell-through rate. Holy crap! We have sold more items than there are available. Because that's how the math works out, right? No. Conversion rate on used goods for this brand is about 51%. Caveat, it's hard to determine an actual conversion rate. This is just a metric of how in demand this brand is as a whole, not a polo, not a quarter zip. It's just as a whole, and this is a good metric if you're doing this style of reselling, whether or not you should pick this up. Me personally, I pick up anything with a conversion rate of about 38% and above, which if you want to translate that to the sell-through rate, it's basically 80% and above. But you know, you can't sell 110% of the supply of something because that cannot exist. So anyways, we'll bring this over here for the next one. Yeah, but you can see some of these sold comps. I mean, my goodness. Look at this. A quarter zip for 80. I mean, what other brand is commanding these prices for just a polo? Oh, well, Roback is. We haven't mentioned that, right? But Roback is definitely saturated. Everyone and their sister's mother knows about that brand at this point. But how many of you know about Malbon? Not many. I've known about the brand for a while now. I've never found it, but I'm always on the lookout. I mean, look, a sticker sold for $70, guys. Anyways, let's see if we can find a good listing here. This one looks all right. I want to show you the cool little thing here. I mean, they always have some pattern, it seems like. Let's see here. Got the logo on the sleeve. This is kind of an interesting way to do pictures, but hey, you make do with what you got. Oh, this is, I guess, brand new. Do you have the tag? There is no internal tag. Okay, so I lied about that listing. Let's find another listing. Hey, maybe this one right here, right? This looks pretty solid. Yeah, okay, so Malbon, big spell out there, and bam! Now that actually looks like a quality label. Now, if I saw this and had no idea what this brand was, I probably would stop. Just simply because there's not many brands that actually have nice labels anymore. And this to me just kind of sticks out. And once you've been, snooping around the thrift store for long enough, you recognize brands. But yeah, here you go, guys. So not bad. Let's now look at their website. And then before we really get into it, I really want to probably just say that the brand itself is really strong. I mean, just in general, I personally would recommend buying just about every single item in this brand that you see that's in good condition, right? We don't want holes. We don't want stains. Maybe the brand's strong enough to survive a stain, but I mean, personally, I try to pick up only items in good quality. Who knows what you'll find. And they also have collabs. So, yeah, just keeping it real there. Let's look at the men. I do primarily sell in the men's category. So here we go. Oh, look, they have a collab with the Knicks. Looks like this is their main logo, this little ball with a hat on. Lots of Knicks. Oh, look, they have a Malbon Munzie. Oh, no. $1,500 for a golf club head cover? All right. It's got a heart on its butt. Okay, so if you see this in the thrift store, I 100% guarantee you should buy it. As hideous as it is, I guarantee you this item is selling for $300 on eBay. Dang, I've never seen something so wild before. Jeez. But they have a really interesting brand. I kind of like the style, personally. I like the fact that one of their, models is just some old over-the-hill kind of dude with a 5 o'clock shadow, right? Look at that. I mean, but I guess in fairness, guys, their stuff honestly doesn't look any different than, I would say, a G4 or what's another contemporary golf brand? Maybe like a Galvin Green. Who else does stuff like this? I mean, there's a host of different brands that kind of look like this. I mean, to be fair, this looks like kind of almost like a Nike piece mixed with like maybe a Rafa piece mixed in with their own like kind of swag to it. Wow. Look, you can buy a whole bag cheaper than a golf head cover. I'm sorry, guys. I can't get over that. That is so wild to me. But look, Adidas golf cleats. So they have shoes. They have hats. Their hats are really expensive. Jackets. Look at this golf head cover. Yeah, a little bit of everything, guys. Even some New Balance. Man. Wow. Look at that. That's a cool bag. Anyways, before I drag on and just look at all the cool stuff that they have, I would highly recommend picking up anything and everything you see in this brand. It is one of a weirder looking brand. I would imagine this is considered a streetwear / golf apparel. But yeah, Malbon, I would remember that. And if you see it, pick it up. My strategies for finding this in the thrift store, as you can see, is if you have a sports section, I would look for this rainbow unicorn thingy. I'm not sure what a Munzie is, forgive me, but here's a camo one. Yeah, look for that. But also I would look in the hats, I would look in the shirts, the polos, outerwear. They have golf shoes. I mean, so this is kind of one of those ones where even if you find a bag, I bet you this bag commands a ton of money. But yeah, just the whole gamut. You can find this probably anywhere, and I bet you all of it sells pretty good. Again, we're probably looking for without holes, without stains, without any major flaws. But pick it up, guys. One of these days I will find this in the thrift store, and one of these days I will be happy to sell it. So there you go. And the last brand, I always like to include a brand I have actually found, and that is Macade. Over here on Terapeak, you can see that the average sale price for Macade is, or their sold price, whatever, is $30.63. It is a fairly uncommon brand from my experience. So yeah, pretty good. Before we move on, I really want you guys to focus on the primary product for this is their bottoms. They have pants, they have joggers, they have shorts. That is all I have ever found, and they all sell really fast for good, solid money. So let's look at eBay. Do our little fancy delete and paste. Put the quotes in there to get the most structured breakdown. We'll do the used category because the odds of you finding it new is pretty rare. So okay, so bring the calculator over. Removing the calculator. So 214 results on unsolds and 157 available. So 157. Enter. 371, right? Remember that. 157 divided by 371 has a conversion rate of 42%, slightly above that. Do you see how I'm getting that number? Okay. Now that we've broken that down, this is well within my metrics. But you can see that a little bit of everything sells. They have obvious sweaters and vests and the whole gamut, but what do you see mostly, right? You mostly see bottoms. And that's what I have found and sold. I would expect you can get about 30 to 40 bucks. If it's a women's, I would imagine you're getting closer to probably like 25 to 30 at the most. And of course, you're going to be taking offers probably and things like that. So, being that it's not 100% sell-through rate, I recommend just someone sends you a decent offer, take it. But let's see if it changes. So we have 37 sold and 66. So no, not really. This actually is a little bit worse of a conversion rate. But let's see if we can find a good listing. But you can see there's demand. 6 viewed in the last 24 hours. So there's people looking. Okay. So one of the interesting things about this brand that you can recognize right away is its button. Its button is a flat, obviously circular, but it's very noticeable. It's hard to explain how noticeable that truly is. And also, they're one of the few brands that I've seen that has like a secondary color waistband, and it has the name on the waistband. So there's no excuses. You should not be missing this on the rack. And then I don't know if you recognize this. There's another brand called Primo Golf that has like a jogger that does really well. this logo looks exactly like their logo in terms of the tag on the inside. It is very much almost the same feel too. So I almost wonder if these two companies compete in literally the same exact factory. And then a lot of times you'll see it on the back pocket. So yeah, there you go. That's how you can identify it. Strategies to find this. Obviously, they have outerwear. They have polos, but I personally would focus more on the pants and the shorts. And then they do have activewear like joggers. I've found one other time, so you could even look in the activewear section if you're really curious to try to find this. But that's what I would stick to. I do not believe that this brand is strong enough to withhold any stains or holes. So if you have any stains or any holes, I would strongly make a gut decision on whether to pick it up. If just buyer beware, right? So here's their website. It looks like they have a now live crossover 25, whatever that means. Let's look at the men's. Let's look at, they have limited. Let's look at the latest, huh? So you can see here, it's kind of a contemporary looking brand if I had to guess. I've never found one of their polos, or let's see, yeah, and it looks like these are fairly new. Let's see here. Ooh, look at this jacket, $400. Ooh. Woo, why do all these brands just, like, man, I mean, I can't complain, right? Like, if I found a jacket, I'd be excited. But yeah, I mean, shoot, hey, look, you can even sell used socks on Poshmark. It's kind of weird. I've seen it on there, and it's one of those weird things. But you could definitely do it on Poshmark. eBay will straight disown you. But yeah, so you can see their pants. They're not cheap. $125. So it looks like you can find a little bit of everything, and so it stands true. I would look, wherever you want to find this brand, whatever item you're absolutely looking for. But it is one of those brands I for sure would buy on site in the right condition for the right price. Well, there you have it. 3 obscure golf brands that have a ton of value on the resale market. What brand have you heard of? What brand looks the most promising? Let me know in the comments section. Also, let me know if you have any recommendations on any niche that you want me to deep dive in, specifically regarding clothing, of course. And please, if you found this in any way interesting or helpful, help me out by hitting the like button, subscribe, comment below, and guys, never forget to what? Rule the day.